Good morning. It is the next morning. Got out a little late today. Been raining since about 2 o'clock this morning. Got the blade etching done on one. Let's do the blade etching on this one. We'll clean them up. Take them over to the sanding jig and get them all cleaned up, ready for final filing and whatever needs to be done, and then we'll take it out and heat treat it. The forge is under the shelter out there, so it generally stays pretty dry, and it's not a pour down rain anyway, and we do need it, so I'm not going to complain a bit. All this gets blended in and look a lot different. See, I want to go just a touch more right there. I like to etch them pretty deep because by the time you sand it, you take a little bit of material off. There we go, like that. Turn our machine off. All right, get these peeled off, cleaned up, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, got my grind line blended in. We sanded out the scratches out of here. Most of them. You will see a couple in the very final. Maybe, maybe not. And that is true on any knife you get from anywhere. Perfectly smooth, doesn't bother a thing. Clamp down. Do the same thing over here. Alright, cleaned up, ready to go, ready for heat treat. Do this. I think the rain has slacked off a little bit, so we'll head out to the forge and do that. Now, I've shown that several times, and we'll go ahead and show it again. Alright, got the forge lit. Put them both in at the same time. I'm looking for a dull red color, dull red heat. After you do it 5,000 times, you know what color it looks like when you're supposed to quench. One thing I see people do a lot, newbies, even on the forges and fire do show, you know, they get it too hot. Too hot is not good. And all we want to do is the blade, we don't want to do the tank. So we're going to have to drill a hole in that. hardened steel, you can't drill it. Or very, very difficult. 1/8" steel, it doesn't take very long. See, we're coming up to color. Now keep in mind, this is the way I do it. Some people do it different. I'm not saying they're doing it wrong, just they do it different. They get it too hot, in my opinion. Okay, there's our color right there. And it has to go in the oil pretty fast. And we check it for straight. And we are straight. Let it cool. That'll take at least a half hour to cool. And when that happens, your tension to reach, don't do that. Our color we want right there. Look at it, we're straight, and it is still straight. And that's that. That cool down all the way cool, just like that, and don't touch it. And we'll go clean them up and get them in the tempering oven. Alright, blades have cooled down. Gonna wash them off with some little baby duck soap. I like little baby ducks. Battered and fried, they're very good. Alright, now this is the work sink. We don't care if it gets dirty. Fish cleaning sink is over there. Just about out, I gotta get some more. Get the heavy stuff off of there. That soap's real good at cutting the oil. Put them in the tempering oven just like they come out, like that. It'll work, but it'll oven will smoke up. It'll smoke up the shop, make a mess. Alright, let's make sure, we'll take them in, make sure they're hardened, and put them in the tempering oven, and we'll clean all this scale off in the end. Once it's baked on there, out of the tempering oven, it's easier to come off. There's a mosquito big as a bird on me. Get off of me. I'll be glad when it gets cold weather and all these bugs go away. Alright, let me show you how I check for hardness. Sharp file. This is a piece of scrap that we cut off of one of these. Now listen. See how that file's biting in there? That is not hardened steel, that is annealed. Annealed being soft. Just took this out of the tempering oven. If we got it right, that file shouldn't cut. It should just skate right across. Just like that. Okay, hardened steel. A lot of people want to know the Rockwell hardness. I have no idea, and I do not care. Hardened steel. Now we're going to temper it in tempering oven, and that's going to take a little bit of the hardness out. Now, the file still won't cut it, but it won't be quite as hard, and that's what makes you hold an edge. So there we go. In my opinion, as great as YouTube is, some people put out the Rockwell hardness thing. To test that, you have to have a special tool for that, or you can get the files that are like $200 a set. But even if you know what the hardness is, it doesn't make any difference in my opinion. It either hold an edge or it won't. So in mine, hold an edge. That's that. Now let's move right over here. We're going to invade. This is Stump's little office when he's here. Even got him some junk over here. We move his chair out of the way. Now, also in my opinion, no need to warm the oven and all that junk. 450 degrees, 1 hour, and we're good. See y'all. Well, now after the hour, they have to sit in there and cool all the way back down to cool again. So we're actually looking at about an hour and a half for this process. Then we'll start getting handle material out after we clean them up and all that neat stuff. May not be done today. It's starting to rain again. It's hard to work in the rain on this tin roof sometimes, but we'll see. Alright, got called out of the shop yesterday. Never made it back. Out of the tempering oven. Now we're going to start cleaning them up again. We'll go over here to the wire wheel. Mainly get down in the grooves and the maker's mark. Knock off some of this slag. Well, not slag, but whatever the word is. Leftovers from when it came out in the forge. It's not early, but I still can't think today. So anyway, let's go do that. Then we'll go back to the whole sanding process again. I won't show you that because we already did it. So then we'll be ready for gun bluing and selecting handle materials. Alright, got them sanded and cleaned up. Not quite happy with the sanding, so we're going to go one step further. I'm going to go to the buffer. A little bit of polishing compound. Let's smooth it out just a little bit more. Then we'll clean them off and do the gun blue. Not going to go down there. The buffer's down there and it's a mess, so I'll show it in just a little bit what they look like. Alright, I'm much more happier with that. Buffed them up to a satin finish. It just had a little couple of swirls in there from the orbit sander. I think the sometimes a grain will come off of there, a grain of that sandpaper, and it'll swirl it. Sometimes when you gun blue, it'll show up, and sometimes it won't. So instead of taking a chance, I like to do it like that. Light buffing. I got the maker's mark a little farther back on this one. That's still okay. It's going to look great anyway. Blades are all but identical. The crosso's a little bit shorter on this one too for some reason, but they're going to work. Alright, now to the gun blue tank. Then I'll wrap them up and we'll get our handle materials out and we'll see what that looks like. Still raining. 2 coats. Oh yeah. Now I've got to go water rinse them, put a little bit of oil on them, wrap them up, and handles. Alright, got our finger guard pieces cut out here and our liner. So you got to keep them together because these measurements are not going to be identical. And we've got to mill it up. We use the milling machine. Mill our slot in there. Alright, 0.44. Okay, and we got room to go down. Okay, so we want our center hole to be 0.44 this way. About the center. It's cut a little bit long because it's going to grind off. Just a touch, which is a little bit long. Not very sharp. There we go. Just looking for a reference line like that. I already marked them in the center. Okay, so that one's ready to mill. This one 0. See, that one's 0.41. As long as it don't get any bigger towards the top, then it won't slide down on there. 0.41. That's the way it's supposed to go the first time. Reference mark, reference mark. There we go. Now we'll get the milling machine set up. Get these done. Okay, we're going to do this one first. Alright, maybe y'all can see that. 1/8 inch end mill. Got everything set. This is my adjust here. We're going to go down. And this is thin enough and that brass is really soft so we can go all the way through. There is a first time for everything. I have never broken end mill. Until today. Now, that's the only one I have. The only 1/8 inch end mill I have. And I don't want to try to drill it and hand file it like I used to because the hole won't be right. It'll wander off. So let's get on the horn. Amazon.com. I can get 2 for not very much. Pretty good ones. And this is a good one. It's been used a lot over the last couple of years, so maybe it just dulled out and it was time. I don't know. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for part 2 I was going to try to finish it all in this video, but it'll be part 2 because I'm not going to take a shortcut. Alright, thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. And I think I'll just knock off for today before I break something else.